Hey, set your mind right now. Nothing before this matters. We came here with everything still on the line. Everything you wanted in the offseason is still out in front of us. What would you give for that moment right now? Let's go, man.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
Yo, what is good, Raider Nation? It is your boy Raider Alex. I am back with another video. In this video, guys, we're going to be talking about free agency, specifically the wide receiver position. So yeah, guys, let's get right into it. But before I start though, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe down below. With that being said, guys, let's jump right into it. Now, in my last video, I talked about Davante Adams and how I think the Raiders should, go out and get him and trade for him. But this video is going to be if the new regime doesn't want to trade any capital for Davante Adams, or maybe if Green Bay's asking too high of a asking price for Davante Adams. And also for some of you guys, a lot of you guys said that, maybe you didn't prefer Davante Adams to give up any draft capital. You'd rather just go on the free agency route, keep the draft capital, invest that into our team. And that's a very, viable option, especially this year, man. There's a lot of people we can talk about, on the wide receiver market. And yeah, let's jump right into it. The first guy that I want to talk about is Allen Robinson. Now, this guy, I think he's a true number one. The thing is, throughout his whole career, man, he has never played with a legit quarterback, man. I want him for that reason. And also, man, I feel bad for the brother, man. Like I said, bro, the quarterbacks he's played with his whole career, he's played with Justin Fields, a rookie, Andy Dalton, Mitchell Trubisky, Blake Bortles. Like, goddamn, bro, this guy. And on those teams, man, if you look in the years past, he's put up like wide receiver 1 type numbers, looking hella fucking solid. So imagine what he could do with a quarterback like Derek Carr. Now, the downsides on Robinson is, last season he was not very productive. It was a down year. He was suffering, an injury most of the year. He's playing with a rookie quarterback that, and the team just overall wasn't very good. His stats were 38 receptions, 410 yards, and only 1 touchdown. Like I said, those numbers aren't great. He's coming off age-wise, he's already, he's 28, so he's kind of getting up there in age. Now, according to his market value, they think that he'll probably get anywhere, around $16 million per year. A guy like him, you know what, I would pay right around there. Anything more, though, once we're getting into like 18, 19, 20, I honestly would not. And honestly, I would try to lowball him a little bit. Maybe offer 14, 15. I mean, like I said, he's coming off a down year. The Raiders might be able to use that to their advantage to get a better, price for him. But yeah, guys, this is definitely one option the Raiders should definitely consider. Like I said, I think he really has the talents to be a number 1 guy, especially playing with a legit quarterback in Derek Carr. So yeah, that's definitely one option for the Las Vegas Raiders to consider. Now, the second wide receiver I think the Raiders should look at is Chris Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy, he's hella young, man, and his stats are pretty nice. He put up 49 receptions, 1,100 yards, 5 TDs, and he's coming off an ACL injury, though, so, I mean, ACL is a tough injury to come by, but he is young, so, I mean, if he was, close to the 30-year-old, range, I would be like, no, let's stay away from this guy. It's too big of a risk. According to his market value, though, he should be getting around $18 million per year. It's kind of a high asking price, but I think as long as he doesn't go into the 20s, I would be fine with, getting a guy like that. Like I said, I think he's really young. He really has the potential to be a star in this league. Now, the downsides to him, though, is he did play with a stacked-ass wide receiver group. I mean, it helps a lot having Mike Evans on the other side of you. He also had Antonio Brown. He got Tom Brady throwing him the ball. I mean, just in general, that offense is stacked as hell. So, is he truly a wide receiver number 1? I can understand where some people are kind of skeptical in that terms, but I think he is, man. And I think if the price is right, like I said, once we go over 20 or so, I'm definitely not about that, and we should consider somebody else at that point. Now, the third guy on this list is, I think, somebody that the Raiders should definitely consider. It's Christian Kirk from the Arizona Cardinals. This guy is young as hell too. 25 last year. He had 77 receptions, 982 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think this guy's probably the best fit. Also, I mean, look at his market value. They're expecting around 12 million a year. I think that's a steal, man. That's a really good asking price for the. Like I said, he's very young. He's been putting up numbers with Arizona. He's got pretty good speed, man. I think he would, go along really well in this offense with Derek Carr. And like I said, for $12 million, you could get him and then like another receiver, like another sleeper wide receiver, for around the same, maybe a little bit less, or you can always go in the draft as well. But I really like him, and I definitely think the Las Vegas Raiders should definitely consider him as one of their targets if they're gonna go wide receiver in free agency. Fourth guy on this list is from the Los Angeles Chargers. That's their wide receiver, Mike Williams. When I first heard of Mike Williams' name, coming up in the free agency market, I was pretty intrigued. I thought, he might be a good fit. He's a bigger wide receiver, a guy that you can, throw jump balls to, fade routes, that sort of thing. And look, it would be nice to take away a weapon from Justin Herbert and the Chargers, but I mean, I don't know. For some reason, I don't have the best feeling with him. Something tells me that for some reason I keep thinking Tyrell Williams, man. Like, is he gonna be like the same experiment, where we get him, we pay him a lot of money, and he doesn't produce like a wide receiver one? Is he truly a number one wide receiver? I have my doubts. And looking at the market value, they say it's about $16 million per year. I could definitely see this guy getting paid even more than that. I could definitely see this guy getting overpaid by some team, and I don't want it to be us. I don't want us to overpay for a wide receiver. Like I said, if you're gonna pay, that higher amount per year, you better be pretty damn certain that he's gonna be a legit number one wide receiver, because that's what this offense needs desperately, man. So in terms of Mike Williams, it just really depends on the asking price he wants. If it's anything below like 15, I would definitely look into it. I'd be intrigued, but like I said, 16 and up, I have serious doubts about him. Now, the last receiver on this list is wide receiver from the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Gallup. To me, if we were to get him, you got to get him at a right price. I think this is a guy that has a lot of upside, though. The thing with Michael Gallup is you ask a lot of these Dallas Cowboy fans, and a lot of them are pretty high on him. A lot of them, they actually prefer that they just move on with Michael Gallup over Amari Cooper. They just trade away Amari Cooper and just have him be that number 2 guy. The thing with Michael Gallup, too, is just like a lot of these other receivers, he's part of a really, really stacked wide receiver group. I mean, damn, they probably got one of the best wide receiver groups in the whole league. What intrigues me most about him is his market value as well. It's pretty low, around $12 million. I would try to get him for a little bit less, because like I said, man, he's not proven. He would have to, we're going to take a little risk with him, but like I said, he has a tremendous amount of upside. So that's definitely another name I think the Raiders should consider when looking at this wide receiver pool and free agency. So yeah, Raider Nation, those are the 5 names that, at least in my opinion, intrigue me the most to fill the wide receiver position for this team. You still got other guys out there, Juju Smith-Schuster, you got Odell Beckham Jr. Those guys don't, interest me that much, though. I'd rather go with the other guys I mentioned. But anyways, with those guys I mentioned, I came up with 2 different scenarios that I would like to see. Either we get one wide receiver, one which is going to demand more money, whether that be Allen Robinson or Chris Godwin. Like I said, I think those guys are going to command more money out of the other guys I listed. And I think they got the most, the higher probability of just coming in and being that wide receiver 1 for this team. I think we get one of those guys, and maybe we can go in the draft and get another wide receiver that he can learn underneath these guys, and it'll serve as a really good future position for this team. Or my second option would be to get one of these guys that are going to command less money. Well, at least it appears that they're going to command less money, like a Christian Kirk, and a Michael Gallup. You can get both of them. Let's say if you can spend about $12 million per year, then you got two guys right there. And at that point, man, I think you don't even have to re-sign Zay Jones. You don't even have to re-sign Deshaun Jackson. You go into the draft not really needing a wide receiver, but if there's a really nice wide receiver that falls into your lap, then if you want to pull the trigger, then you can, man. But yeah, guys, like I said, these are the wide receivers that really intrigue me the most with this team, and it's just a matter of how much their asking price is, because I think all these guys have a lot of potential and they can come into this team and contribute. But yeah, guys, with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Let me know down below in the comments what wide receivers you guys want for this team. If there's any guys that I missed. One guy that I didn't talk about this video that his name has been popping up is DJ Chark. He plays for the Jaguars. I haven't looked in too much about him, but it appears like he might be a sleeper, signing in free agency. So that's definitely a guy that we could consider too. Hey, maybe we could get a Christian Kirk and get like that guy for cheaper money as well. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. But with that being said, guys, I am out.